Welcome to Mortgages and More, your go-to podcast for the latest insights in the mortgage industry. Join us as we dive into expert advice, unveil actionable tips, and learn how to empower the next generation of homebuyers. Get ready to elevate your knowledge and make those property dreams a reality. Let's get started. What is up, everybody? We are back with another mini podcast. We need a cool name for what we would call a mini podcast as we get ready to launch our book in February. And so we are honored to have you with us for these 8 minutes. Brian, let's do it.
Let's do it. And I am super pumped to have one of my dear friends in the business and a neighbor, frankly, here in Michigan, Michael Hammond from Next Level Advisors. Michael, thanks for joining us.
Hey guys, thanks. It's great to be here, and it's great to be part of this awesome project.
Well, we're honored to have you as a contributing writer for our upcoming book, Rethink Everything You Know about being a loan officer. And we want to dive right into it, Michael. We want to tease a little bit of the chapter that you've written, and then we'll take it from there. So why don't you share a little bit about what you're going to cover for our readers?
Absolutely. As I've coached thousands of loan officers, one of the things I think they struggle with is how to effectively build relationships. So my chapter is all about rethink content creation, how you can leverage AI to really grow your pipeline and create content. And so what I would say is, too many times in the mortgage industry, we focus on building transactions instead of relationships. We've got to get out of that mindset and focus on relationships. To do that, you got to add value. To add value, you've got to learn how to create great content. And I think one of the most things that LOs are really scared of is, I don't know what the hell to say. I don't know what to do. So I'm going to help them with AI tools very easily and quickly, allow them to create awesome content so they can build those relationships to grow their business.
Boom.
Come on. I can't wait for that chapter.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. I've had a front row seat to in some of the things that Michael's done and over the years, and this is sharing your knowledge is going to be amazing for these LOs that are reading the book, and frankly for those that are also subscribers to this new podcast. So we kind of put out this directive, I guess, around the chapter. And kind of confined our contributors a little bit in terms of what, how many words, how many pages, things like that. And we've had a couple of conversations with folks that said, I wish I had another chapter, or I wish I had a little more space. And so what is something, Michael, that you wish you would have had more room in the book to talk about that we didn't quite get to, or you didn't quite get to?
Well, I think if they want to succeed in creating great content, you also have to have a good marketing strategy. And what I see oftentimes talking to LOs is when I'm coaching with them, they don't really have the fundamentals down. They don't really have a database to grow realtors. They don't have a database to grow after home builders. They don't have a database for their prospects. Once they have that database, what are some of the fundamentals they need to do? Is it an email campaign? Well, what you do for past clients in a nurturing campaign is a lot different. It probably should be email. It should probably be once a month. If you're going to go after growing your realtor network, totally different strategy. It should probably once a week. It should probably be using text messages, and how do they create the text messages, and do they do video? So if I had more chapters, I would probably go into greater depth from a marketing perspective of really help laying that foundation, so that when they get great content, so that when they really have these cool ideas and these new videos and all the great tips they're going to get from this book, they have a way to go and execute that very effectively.
Michael, to follow up on all this, if an LO wants to work with more realtors, wants to begin having relationships with builders, what does it look like to even get them into your ecosystem, to get them to notice you? Is it a freebie that you're using to collect data? Like what does that look like?
So yeah, if you want to do a lead magnet, that's one way to do it. You do a lead magnet and you start collecting their emails and start creating that database. It's also very easy. Go to LinkedIn, free tools where I can go in the top left corner of search and I can type in realtors in Atlanta. I can type in realtors in Canton, Michigan, and all of those are going to start coming up. So what do? You got to 3 prongs to social media success. You've got to continue to grow your network each and every day. So start following everybody. Number 2, you've got to post, and you got to post something of value, not just an ask. And then the third one, and this is where most people fail, is they don't engage. They don't engage with other people's content, and then they're shocked that nobody engages with their own.
Yep. So true.
Yeah, and that's something that I'm learning, because I do a lot of posting, and I have to for myself hold myself accountable to actually be playing the other role of engager. So for me, my cheat code is I schedule time on my calendar to engage, and every day I list 7 to 10 targets, people, whatever that I want to get closer to in my network, and I'm intentionally engaging with their content. Are there any other kind of tips or tricks that you've got out there?
Best tip I have is right here. Make sure you're using your phone for your social feeds. And in between meetings, I can be on for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 8 minutes. And I start looking through the feeds. And then the last tip, when you're going to engage with people on the feed, show that you actually read their content or watched their video. Right. So if I put in the video, hey, Kyle, thank you so much, man. I loved your book. And when you talked about your origin story, that really resonated. I don't go back and talk about my origin story enough. Instantly, Kyle knows I watched his video. I clicked his UR code. So is he going to be more excited to follow up with me? Yes. Instead of just a quick social flyby and I put hey, Kyle, love the book. So if you can add something personal that you got from what they posted, I think it's going to resonate significantly more.
So good.
I mean, this channel, social, it's real. I think the 3 of us recognize that for sure. You two especially. And you have to treat it as real, and you have to treat it as part of your strategy and the tactics that are going to support your strategy. Just like you would treat, handwriting cards and sending out mailers and doing things that you would do as a tactical salesperson. I just think this is another one of those things that people have to get comfortable with, and in a lot of ways learn how to incorporate into their daily structure.
I agree completely.
Well, this book in and of itself is just a great example of what the power of social media does. When, Brian, we're doing this together. We've never met in person.
Yeah.
I usually say real life, but this is real life, right? Like we're alive right now. And our brains don't know, don't trust Michael because you only know him through its screen. That's not the same as coffee. And so be a little bit leery and keep your distance. No, my brain just knows that I spent time with Brian and Michael today.
That's right.
And so we're cultivating this relationship, though the way we're used to feeling a relationship isn't the same anymore. And so we're about to have a book full of 30-something people that they don't all know each other. You don't know all of them. I don't know all of them. But we're going to be able to come together and do this incredible piece of work because of the power of what this is. So Michael, thank you for what you do and for just the value that for decades you've brought to this industry. And it's such an honor to have you be a part of this.
Likewise. Thank you guys for including me in this wonderful project. Can't wait to see where all of this goes and all of the knowledge that will be shared.
Awesome. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. We are right in the middle of our 30 and 30 launch of the Mortgages and More podcast. Our voices are going to be scratchy by the end of this thing, but it's been fun so far, and we look forward to bringing you the next episode tomorrow. Thanks everybody for tuning in.